Hello ladies and gentlemen, boys, girls, dogs, and cats, and welcome back to Calm Down and Level Up. Today we are here again in one of the final episodes. It's gotta be. I mean, we're closing in. I know I keep saying this like every time, but geez. We're closing in on a winner here. I'm pretty excited. We're closing in on winners on both continents too, which is pretty crazy. In the Americas, we have the Canadian People's Republic and Peru, Bolivia, preparing to square up. Canadian People's Republic originally being Alabama, of course. And all that stands in their way in between these two is the Central American Federation. I'm not sure if Peru is going to declare war on Canada or Iguacu first, but eventually these two are going to go down. One of these two is going to be the winner of the continent war. Over in Eurasia, it's looking like it's going to be Indochina versus Croatia for the final two, but of course we don't know anything yet. Ethiopia is still doing pretty good. Maghreb People's Republic still has quite a chance, and I mean, Serbia could do enough damage to Croatia while they're defending themselves to put Croatia in a bad spot. Same with Manchuria to Indochina. They've been building navies, so once this turns into a continent war between the Americas and Eurasia, they will actually be able to commit naval invasions against each other. But here we go, boys. And of course, this episode was brought to you by my patrons, Infinitum Gamer, Jeremy Houston, Samuel Bjornsson, and the Mad King, especially the Mad King. Thanks for the 25 bucks. Here's the front with Serbia and Croatia. I know there's a lot of generals in the way. Oh, most of them are gone now. And they're coming back, but they're kind of blocking the screen a little bit. But as you can see, there's quite a lot, and quite a lot's going on. It looks like the Serbian front is completely collapsing, and both sides as well. Empire of the Lion is totally getting their revenge for having a drawn-out war against these guys for forever. They've trapped a ton of their divisions over here in Arabia, and they are not getting out. Now, a lot of you pointed out that the only reason Maghreb has not done anything is because they're stuck with the Gambia. They don't want to fight them, and I'm not really too sure what I want to do with this. Like, I don't want to get involved. I could go into Maghreb and force their units to attack, but I'm not going to forcefully annex, so I'm not really sure what I want to do. There is a navy, there's a ship there. Maghreb has 39 ships. That might be the largest navy I've seen. And look at that. Look at that naval superiority. Holy shit. I mean, they are only fighting one little guy. Croatia has 17 ships. They did have to rebuild their fleet. At one point, the Iberian forces, I think, sunk most of the Croatian fleet. Serbia only has 7 ships. It looks like their fleet is probably mostly sunk as well. Empire of the Lion has 10 ships. Indochina has a fleet of 23 ships. And Manchuria has a fleet of 16 ships. These ships have been sinking each other, though, for quite some time. They've been having battles against Indochina. As we saw last time, too, Ireland actually made a successful, well, not successful, but they successfully landed, at least, in East Anglia. Sadly, East Anglia has a more powerful army than Ireland, so there's no way that Ireland would have been able to do good. And East Anglia's navy was sunk by the Irish Navy. East Anglia has 1 ship. Ireland has 8. So whenever East Anglia tries to get some ships out, Ireland just goes and sinks them. Peru has officially crossed the first province in Panama. So I think what Peru's goal really needs to be is to at least take Panama, probably Costa Rica, and into Nicaragua before Canada gets down there. Because if that happens, then they are just going to be in the same choke point position that they were before. And I don't think that Canada or Peru will be able to push against each other very well. We probably won't be able to see a very well fought war if they're just at a tiny choke point like this. So Peru, in order to win, because they do have the superior army, they're gonna have to break Panama and Costa Rica and then get into Nicaragua. So there's multiple positions they can attack from. More Serbian positions have been cut off. Those guys are dying really fast now. Beirut was left alone by Ethiopia. That's interesting. But Anatolia is now being taken. Didn't Kastamonu fight a war against Ethiopia back in the day? And now the tables have turned turned. Ethiopia itself is invading Kastamonu's old lands, or they will be in a sec here. This is the province that spawned the whole Assyrian regime. There seems to be a tiny bulge in the front line. Did these Serbian troops try to do a battle of the bulge? Did they try to attack for one last breath of hope? They did. I think that's Mosul. I think they took Mosul, but they just re-lost it. Oh no, that was Baghdad, actually. That's where Baghdad is. So if you are rooting for Ethiopia, you really need to hope that they start building more divisions. 174, that's pretty good. 231 factories, though. It's really going to hold them back. People like Croatia up here have 811. If Empire of the Lion can possibly unite with Maghrib, whether Maghrib or Empire of the Lion is the victor, a united Empire of the Lion and Maghrib People's Republic would be a very strong country and definitely actually a competitor for the win of Eurasia and Africa. Africa. Over here, the front between Manchuria and Indochina, it's not getting better for Manchuria. They're still doing okay against the Ukrainian divisions, except now not in the north. Ukraine is breaking through. But the Manchurian capital was taken last episode, and it looks like the front is still right there. Croatia has taken Istanbul, but will they be able to cross? That is the question. Yes, they have crossed, and they are now in Asia Minor. There are 14 Serbian divisions sitting on this one province. It does have a port, though, or a naval base. So technically, these divisions, they're going to have a long journey back home. They're going to have to come all the way around. Actually, they have to go all the way around like this and land up here. It is pretty sad to see Serbia go down like this. Again, another great that we've been watching. We're going to have Fs basically every episode remaining in this series. A lot of Fs. We F'd for Assyria. We F'd for Transcaucasia. And pretty soon we're going to be F'ing for Serbia. It's got to be said, Federal Republic of Central America has been doing a really good job holding off both of the powers that are attacking them at both sides. I mean, the Peru-Bolivian one is understandable because of how crazy this choke point is. But this one, they are able to hold back the Canadian or Alabama army that is far superior to theirs in a pretty big long front. I mean, it is desert tiles and mountains, so that doesn't help Alabama's attack. But it is pretty crazy how they've been able to hold this whole line this long. And if you look at it, they've actually only lost a little bit of territory, and they're actually still holding on to some territory that they took, these two provinces. Kastamonu is still under Serbian control, but they're losing it quick. Both Ethiopian and Croatian troops are moving into Kastamonu. This is the second time that this state will have been conquered, and actually Croatia became the controller of it. They took the one town, which gives them 52% control of the state, with Serbia at 28% and Empire of the Lion at 23% now, actually. So this is not good for Serbia. This choke point right here is very important for them. If this falls, this separates their new capital up in the north from all these divisions down here, which will then suffer from extreme attrition. And it looks like they're technically holding it. They have a fort in this town, but it could happen anytime soon. So for casualties in this war, oh, look at that. Empire of the Lion declared war on unitary Transcaucasia. I was kind of actually hoping they would do that. But anyways, the casualties for this war, Empire of the Lion lost 500,000, Croatia lost 3 million, and Serbia surprisingly only lost 2.6. That's mostly probably because of the encirclements, but I assumed they would have lost more. I think Croatia's lost more just because they're the ones doing all the attacks and Serbia's defending everything. So Empire of the Lion will be able to do two really good moves. They'll be able to attack these colonies down here, which I don't even think have any guys in them. It's just all empty over here. And they'll also be able to seize this area, which is actually their capital, which is pretty cool. This is really going to throw Ukraine, or I guess fake Transcaucasia, into quite the frenzy. That probably means that Croatia, once Serbia is dead, is going to attack them too. So believe it or not, Ukraine's actually winning over here, and that's probably because Ethiopia declared the war without actually having their troops on the border, and they were encircled a couple divisions. But this will probably change here once Ethiopia gets the most of their forces here. A lot of Transcaucasia's divisions will be exhausted from making this push, and they'll just get pushed right back, probably to Georgia. That's my estimate, at least. The war between Manchuria and Indochina is actually very stalled out right now. It looks like Manchuria has actually managed to eventually hold off the assault against them and is possibly pushing them back. So it turns out Croatia doesn't have manpower. They are on service by requirement already. They'll be able to go up a few more conscriptions before they have to calm down on the wars, because their forces are just not going to fight very well. Well, boys, I've been recording for quite a while, and these wars are taking quite a long time to end. Wait, did Manchuria recapture their capital? No, they're kind of close though. I think they may push back into it. That'd be crazy if they recapture their capital. But thanks for watching this episode, boys. We didn't get to F for anyone today, but I would like to ask for a premature F for Kingdom of Serbia, everybody. Anyways, boys, thank you very much for watching. If you like this episode, make sure to leave a like, favorite, and subscribe if you guys are new. And I will see you guys all next time. Peace.